Alright, so I've seen Captain America Brave New World, and this is another installment in the MCU where we're seeing Sam Wilson handling the mantle and responsibility as a new Captain America, unfolding an incident that happens, and also being contained as an action-packed political thriller, along with the addition of Harrison Ford, Danny Ramirez, and everything that we love about action and thrilling elements in the MCU packed into one movie. And for what I'm about to get into right here, and this will be a full non-spoiler review, go over what I liked and what I didn't like, especially what potential Kirkman had aside from all the issues, and there's everything to go over right here, right now. And so, if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so I'm on any future videos. But now, let's get right into it. And now, with my experience with this movie, and the fact that Sam Wilson now has his own movie as the new Captain America, and this is coming off the heels of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and for what was set up towards the end of that led him to having his own standalone movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the new Captain America. And that's what I liked about it, especially as we've seen him as mostly a side character in the MCU alongside Steve Rogers and a bunch of other heroes and Avengers. And I'm like really glad that he has his own movie, and even with the way that they handled it all, this is acting like an action-packed political thriller, as this is the main premise of this movie is when an incident that happens and Sam has to figure out who is pulling the strings behind all this, who is behind all of it, so sort of as like a whodunit mystery. And it's especially as in this movie he is working for the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross, played by Harrison Ford, and which I definitely liked. With the addition of Harrison Ford in the Marvel universe, especially as we know him as the man, the myth, the legend, as he is an icon throughout all movies, and to see him being placed in this universe, it was sort of very exciting, just to see him fulfill the role of Thunderbolt Ross, especially with Sam and Joaquin Torres working together, and I thought their chemistry was so perfect. They were great as a duo, and even though this does have packed political and just thrilling elements being added, and that's what I like for an MCU movie like this. But just with the things that I thought that could have gone better, which I'll get to in a bit, I feel like there are some stuff that I wish that could have been added that would have made the film longer or have a better understanding, especially as you've read all the articles and there were behind the scenes drama and all the reshoots. And I think it definitely plays a factor of what this movie has become, and especially with all the test screenings that were bad, and they had to keep reshooting it, and that's exactly what the result was, because with everything that was reworked, and that's what it kind of felt like while watching this movie. I kind of felt like the formula that we've seen from the MCU being used, it's sort of like not there. Everything that was unfolded, and trust me, I liked all of the elements. I thought it was a very solid movie. I mean, was it the best Marvel movie by any means? No. And because I didn't think that this could ever top Captain America the Winter Soldier, which remains one of my top tier favorite MCU movies of all time. It didn't match as to sort of a formality and what that movie accomplished, but specifically with Cap Brave New World, and I feel like it was a very good Marvel movie. So some of that stuff is missing, and because especially with the addition of Red Hulk added, the purpose behind that was, and honestly, I like the action scenes, and there's also a ton of action-packed fun to be had. And even with Joaquin Torres being the new Falcon and to going on missions with Sam, and just with the overall scene of what his character goes through, I feel like Danny Ramirez definitely has his moments as the new Falcon, and he definitely brings that charm in some sort of way. This is also acting like a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, which I don't acknowledge. People don't acknowledge that much. But even though that's a universal property, but even though the film does get acknowledged as a sequel, because even though it explains it all after what happens, a sequel to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and The Incredible Hulk, even as the movie starts off really quick, and it represents to you for what the movie actually wants to be, especially with Sam in action. Plus, I love the Captain America suit that like Sam dons, the kind of design that he has, and see him in action with the shield and just take out bad guys. It was truly an amazing experience because we got to see him as a truly full-on superhero, and that's what I generally like about Sam Wilson, how far he's come, and the character arc that he has progressed as just with this character that we know from the MCU now having his own movie. And like, even though like I liked for what was set up towards the end, and also I mean even though I wasn't on board like with the third act and like how the CGI in the funky CGI fest looks so weird in like a type of way in terms of Anthony Mackie leading his own film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we also got it's like big shoes to fill and maintaining the big legacy that Steve built. But in order for Sam to succeed at it, and I kind of felt like I don't know if that was missing that type of spark. Anthony Mackie does a really great job of trying to carry the role. It's sort of like maintaining that type of figure, and it's supposed to represent for America. This was an overcrowded budget, and especially with the reshoots, and it turned into like this is sort of like weird feeling that the CGI kind of was not there, because especially with Tim Blake and Nelson, who plays the leader, and with the way that it made him look, and yeah, it's not a good look for him. Because with the leader's return after the Incredible Hulk, and I think it explains all what his villainy had to do within the main storyline itself, and even with the addition of Giancarlo Esposito as he plays a sinister character, part of the Serpent Society, and I feel like I really enjoyed his role in it, and the way that it was served, because I mean, come on, we know him from like so many things, but now having a part of the MCU. But if you don't know that his character was added at the last minute, and they had to rework in so many things to make this movie better or not better, like it was like so many like overcrowded things, and I feel like with the movie's runtime, it felt like it like rushed over like a few things that I wish that could have been better, if you know what I mean. But there was like, it was still good writing, but it was a type of solid way, and again, I generally liked it for what it served, and especially from other main parts of the plot. But just with, and also just with the fact that even though things were sort of like all over the place, it definitely acts like a formula that we've seen like many times throughout the MCU, especially with fans complaining about the quality, and I don't want to say superhero fatigue, but just with like the same writing, the same formality, like especially for what Marvel has worked towards with this movie, and also aside from the title change to what was actually put into this final product, it kind of felt like so weird just to witness for what we got. And yet, well, the factors that came into it and what Marvel wanted to accomplish with this movie is to just like rush everything. It was almost I think like they were rushing through stuff without any type of explanation. Third act, generic formula that we've seen plenty of times from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I thought they would improve, especially after what has happened within the last couple movies. Cap Brave New World, it's not like a bad movie, it's just like a good, solid flick, which I really thought it could have been better, but does it set up future things for the MCU towards the very end? Yes, like especially with the post-credit scene that like definitely teases big things, and I think it allows Captain America to be the hero moving forward in the MCU, because I mean the new Captain America in the MCU has a bright future moving forward, especially for what Marvel tends to set up as we're heading near the next couple of Avengers movies. But just with the overall like movie, on top with from beginning, middle, and end, for the way that it starts off with like an action-packed sequence, and I mean I generally like the third act, but I wish they could have like done things better that would have made it like, because there are some generic things that go down which I definitely like. Man, it's sort of like not that good, but it's definitely not like a great movie. But I mean, again, it is solid, but it's just my own opinion. Like, and just for the overall state of what this movie has been through and what type of restructuring of all that, in terms of like, that's what it sort of like feels like. It doesn't have that like sense of like originality. It's just like I like the same thing that we've seen like many times, and also no wonder why like Marvel had a bloated budget on this movie. It kind of felt like the same, and oh my gosh, like, and trust me, it's a good Marvel movie. Like, I had my time with it, and there are some things that I liked and what I didn't like. I just kind of wish that it could have like made it better, but it turns out it had a good result towards the final product that we got. But it also sets up like a big future things, and yeah, that's all I gotta say for you. And yeah, so for my final thoughts here, I liked Cap Brave New World. I thought it was a good, solid MCU flick with some great action sequences. It was some good storylines with the characters, especially with Harrison Ford, which I enjoyed a lot because he really carried this movie. Danny Ramirez, and even with Isaiah Bradley, which I thought was such a good heart of what his storyline carries, of what his experience was, and now to being like in this movie with Sam Wilson, and it's just like, I mean, I adore that character so much, and it's just like a perfect addition to the story. And I feel like this movie could have been better, but hey, we got what we got, and I hope that Marvel does better on the next movie. And I wish that this movie would have had potential to be great, but hey, it's just like a solid watch. But it's not the best by any means, but I give it like a solid rating in my book, and also because I don't think this is a sign that hey, Marvel is back. But hey, like this is like, oh man, like I mean, go out and see this movie and form your own opinion the way that you look at it. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I had my time with it. And that's all I gotta say. But that's gonna do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and what your thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World, if you've seen the movie, and give me a rating between 1 out of 10. I'm curious to hear your opinion. Just let me know in the comments below. Don't wait to like the video, and subscribe and turn on notifications about future videos. Also follow all my social medias over linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.